skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome everyone to a new See It or Skip It, where we're going to be talking about the new Bob Odenkirk action film, Nobody 2. Plus, we've got a new A24 film. Spike Lee is back. And also, Alien Earth.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot believe that that's already out. I'm joined by Kent and Rebecca. How's it going?
Hey, we're pretty
Didn't
good.
even do last names. We're way too.
Yeah, it's first name
way
basis
too
for
friends now.
everyone.
I would say
Everyone
we're on
knows
a
us.
friendly basis. Now.
Yeah, and I think everybody knows us at this point. They know
Thank you,
how cool
4
we
people.
are.
Thanks for the following.
All right, well, let's get going and start with Nobody 2. So Bob Odenkirk is back. I remember when they first were talking about him being in an action-led film with the first Nobody, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go at all. Like, Better Call Saul and him.
That guy?
That doesn't really compute.
Yeah, plus we've seen the aging vigilante genre kind of die off. And so to see him in this kind of movie somehow worked.
Yeah, well, and they were doing it in the midst of all the John Wick films, right? So there was definitely a clamoring for more of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Famously, he had a heart attack while he was on set doing the fighting and stuff. And for him to come back and do a sequel after 2 and just be like, I didn't hear no bell, and like keep fighting and stuff. Not only is this a really fun sequel to the first with giving you a little bit of like a vacation type of vibe, but also I just think it has a lot more fun fighting to me.
But also live your life like Bob Odenkirk, where if you have a heart attack, everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, not him!"
Yeah, please no.
Please no.
Oh yeah, I did not like that. That was
It's so strange that like he's been beloved for his comedy, for his drama, and now action. Like
Well,
he
it
can
works,
do no
though.
wrong.
Get you a guy who can do it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and it's so funny because I think when you're talking about like physical comedy and like stunt work, there are similarities to it, and it's fun to hear Bob Odenkirk talk about that. But when you see him like fighting, the whole thing is just a dance.
Yeah.
You know, you're just watching him like slamming people's faces into arcades. You have his wife, I think Connie Nielsen, sorry,
Yes.
and she also has some fun stuff to do. Is this one that you think is going to end up being a pretty big hit?
I think this is a Dog Days of Summer type movie. I don't think it will be a big hit. May get enough to get a third movie, just because it's kind of one of those, hey, I need a dad solid action movie for the end of summer.
Well, and they set it up so well. So like the first movie, they kind of introduced, the wife also kind of does some kind of something.
Yeah.
And then they tee it up in the second movie, and I think they kind of introduced it a little bit too late, but they tee up the wife as also being, a partner in action essentially. And so the third movie, I think, really you can set it up for the whole family to be involved.
And that's what I want. Like the whole time during Nobody 2, I was thinking that same thing. When is she coming in?
When is she coming in?
When is she going to start doing the fights? And when she does, it pays off really well. But then the movie ends. So we have to wait for Nobody 3, I guess.
Yeah.
But is this something that you would take with family, or is it something that you would just go with a bunch of friends?
Oh, I would go with a bunch of friends. I mean, but my family would like it.
Yeah.
But it is a fun. I like seeing action movies in the theater. So I thought I had a blast.
Yeah, I would go with friends. I would take my stepdad to this one. He would absolutely love it because the plot is largely unimportant.
Well,
Oh yeah.
I noticed you called it a dad film. What about this qualifies it as a dad film?
Silly action that you don't need to think too much about.
Well, and Bob Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd.
Absolutely, like
our dads.
It's so fun and doesn't ask a lot of you.
Oh, it is actually a very dad-oriented movie.
It is, yeah.
Because they also take the time to, what is he, the mayor? Like they rescue the mayor's son?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fathers and sons stuff in this.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Lloyd, like whenever he shows up, I'm delighted.
Never
this one
once
feels
takes
like
off his sunglasses.
Yes,
by the way.
this one it was like a mixture of two good things, where maybe he didn't want to do too much on set, but also they were cool with that and liked filming him just kind of walking around with sunglasses doing
It's a
nothing.
liability, if you will.
And then Sharon Stone shows up in the movie as well as the villain.
Yep, Sharon
You're
Stone.
kinda like, okay.
Pretty formidable though.
Yeah.
Like, especially towards the end, I was genuinely like worried for our guy.
I liked her character. I liked what they did.
Just having fun with the role,
Just
essentially.
having fun. Yeah.
Now, do you think they ramped up the action here? That's really what people are coming to see.
It feels the same, which is a good thing. I don't think it's like any better, but it's also no worse. So if you love that first one and the action delivered, you're going to get much of the same.
Okay. Well, is it a see it or skip it, Rebecca?
Oh, see it, for sure.
It's a see it.
It's a see it. So make sure that you guys see it in theaters this weekend. And while you're looking, check out this cool interview that I got to have with Bob Odenkirk himself. With physical comedy, there's a lot of choreography, but I feel like fight choreography, there's similarities.
There are. It's weird. When we were shooting the bus fight scene and nobody won, in the middle of the night, we shot that at night in Winnipeg, and we had planned that fight for a year and a half, and I'd been a big part of planning the fight. But you have to make changes and choices when you do these screen fights, because the set isn't exactly what you planned, or something looks better if you do it a different way, and you have to make choices. And it was the most like being a comedy sketch writer, I realized, of anything I've done in my career outside of writing comedy sketches. And I love that. I love a room full of people with a problem that they have to solve. In this case, choreography and visual choices. And so I just took to it. A screen fight is like a comedy sketch. It has to go somewhere. It has to have a beginning, middle, and an end. And it goes pretty fast. And you build on what you've done and you turn it at the end. So it sort of fits in with everything I trained to do in my first 20 years in showbiz, which was comedy sketch writing.
It seemed that way, but I'm curious what hurts most, stunt work or having to rewrite a sketch at the last minute?
Stunt work. I don't have a clever, counterintuitive response to that. I mean, you don't get hurt generally if you've choreographed it well, but at times, what you do is, I always hit my hands on things, because your hands are flying everywhere, and then I end up with bloody hands.
Creatively, what can you do with a mid-budget film that you probably couldn't do with like a $200 million Marvel thing? And what are studios missing from audiences that are going to see these that maybe they should know?
Well, I think with those huge films that you're talking about, you kind of have to wow audiences from the word go. Now, I think we did that with Nobody 2, but in a more modestly budgeted film, maybe you need to just connect emotionally with people in the first 10 minutes. And hopefully we did that as well. We certainly did that in Nobody 1. And so you have to work. The other thing I think we get to do, it's weird, but I think we get to invent more in the moment. When you're risking that much money, you can't take chances on things. But we can, in our moment of making the scene, making the fight scene, or making a dramatic scene in Nobody 2, you can go, hey, I got a great idea. Let's do this. And you can change it. So I think we have a little more wiggle room to find fun, hilarious, moving moments when you're shooting, because we don't have this threat of you're blowing so much money.
Right, there's not somebody looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, there's not a team of people looking over your shoulder. They let you go, and they let you invent things.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Odenkirk, thank you so much. Again, it was a pleasure, and I cannot wait for people to see this. Hoping for Nobody 3. I just want more of these. Just keep going.
Thanks, buddy. Nobody 2, coming soon.
All right, now let's move into the new Spike Lee film with Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright. This is Highest to Lowest. It's from A24. This is about a music mogul, like one of the top music execs, right? His son gets kidnapped, or so they think. Turns out the kidnapper took the wrong son, and instead took his nephew instead. He now has to try to figure out how he's going to pay this exorbitant ransom, while at the same time his company is doing this huge acquisition where he's thinking he can make a move, purchase the entire thing from under him, but now he has to choose where the money is going to go.
Yeah.
To save the boy or save the music career, which is crazy that he's even thinking about that. This came from it's an adaptation of a Kurosawa film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the original, so I can't really speak on that too much, but what I can say is it's a crime that it's been 20 years since Denzel and Spike have been collaborating on something.
Seriously.
And they are so good together. I love Denzel Washington in this. Jeffrey Wright is always good, and him kind of playing the more, okay, you worry about like the professional business side. I'm going to start calling people to beat the crap out of whoever we need to, you know. I'm going to do all of the dark stuff. But what do you think about, what's the last time you've seen Denzel and Spike together? Which movie?
Oh, mercy. It's been a minute.
I didn't come prepared.
Oh, no. Well,
But like the way I think of like Spike Lee movies is I wonder if it's for the general audience because they're pretty artistic, right? And then add A24 to the mix. I kind of wonder. It sounds like kind of a general thriller from what you're saying, but is this more heightened, right? Is this for everyone?
Well, Denzel Washington raps. So
Yeah.
if you're just going to go in and like
I'm into that.
just for that, that is enough. And A$AP Rocky's in it. He's actually really good.
Yeah, because this is a pretty music-focused movie, like how is the soundtrack?
The soundtrack's great, and I really love how they're weaving music into it, because obviously this is like a ransom more than anything, but the character that Denzel's playing in this passion with like, I don't want to make just a studio-produced thing. I want to find talent that are just from, local areas and try to build like what actually is music, as opposed to like the new Justin Bieber single, we're going to put that everywhere and focus there. The music at the end, there's one song that just completely tore the roof off for me. Like I had a little bit of tear coming down, and it set the entire ending to be like a definite see it. I feel bad that you guys haven't seen
I know,
it.
I will be seeing this.
Yeah, this is a good one. I don't know when it's going to be going on to Apple TV Plus, but it is combined with them.
That is kind of crazy. Because it's also co-produced by Apple Plus, but typically A24 movies go directly to HBO.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. F1 is back in theaters right now on IMAX, and F1 also came from Apple too. So I feel like Apple is figuring out some type of day release and then a streaming release later with their talents and people, because obviously these creators want to have a theatrical experience first and a window to compete with the other films.
Yeah.
But this is why you go to the movies. It's not just for superhero films. It's not just for action movies. Sometimes you need to go and just watch an artist just create. And maybe it's not the cleanest, but that's what I like. I like that Spike Lee just doesn't care. Like, I'm not in a bad way, but in like no, my visual style is my visual style. And if it didn't work for you for this part, maybe it will in another part, but I'm not going to compromise that.
So a pleasant surprise for August then.
Yep, pleasant surprise. This is definitely a see it for me. With that being said, let's jump into Alien Earth. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't know we were going to talk about Sid the Sloth in this. We're going to bring that
Which is the most memeable part, apparently.
Why are they doing? Why continental drift? But we'll get into that later. Rebecca, talk to us about this.
Well, so it's Noah Hawley who has written and created the show, and I really like Noah Hawley. I really liked Legion, Fargo.
Right.
But take a drink every time there's a crossfade in Alien Earth. You would die.
Yeah.
He's getting really, and he's not even directed both of the 2 episodes that are out, but there's so much artistry happening that I feel like is a bit much for an alien TV show.
It's tough because they're not only like, this is taking place 2 years, I think, before Ripley goes out into space.
It's hard to say. The chronology is weird.
This intro to it, I remember watching it being like, did they just speed run an entire Alien film?
Here's my question. Yeah, here's my question.
Yeah,
Are we
I think about to say the same thing.
Are we getting too much xenomorph too soon?
Yes.
It was immediate, and and as far as like the Neverland kids and stuff, there's this group of like synthetics that
the whole concept, it's messed up. Like when you really think about
really
it,
is.
Dying children.
It's Shazam.
But better because Zachary Levi's not there. But children who have terminal diseases, their consciousnesses are airdropped into a synthetic body. And because their minds are more pliable and can therefore fit and grow in a synthetic body.
Old people think same.
Yeah.
They don't change.
Old people too stiff. But then the main synthetic girl, she is obsessed with her brother, and her brother happens to be where the spaceship has crash landed into a city, and so she's like, let's go get him. We're in these indestructible bodies, and we're so strong and we're so fast. Let's go help, with the ulterior motive of trying to find her brother.
Yeah.
But it's a group of children.
Yeah.
And so there are children-facing monsters, which is kind of fun to watch, but also if you think about it a little bit too much, it's like, icky.
Yep.
I don't care for that.
I think the conveniences are a little bit too much, and also I think the pacing is kind of disastrous.
It's nuts, right?
Right?
Yeah, these first 2 episodes, I really was like, I was seeing all of the reviews and people,
Glowing reviews.
someone was able to get them to watch full seasons of this. I don't know who, but like the first 2 episodes I'm watching going, I'm bored and also I'm confused.
Yeah.
And apparently they're going against canon for Alien vs. Predator and from Prometheus, which, rude. Come on.
I agree.
We spent a lot of time trying to build
I'm on the other side of Prometheus now. I'm into it.
I know, I can't believe I'm going to defend Prometheus.
I know.
Yeah, well, it's Ridley Scott, man. Don't mess with Ridley Scott canon.
Like, he might not make a good movie, but he's a world-renowned director.
Were you there?
But I don't know if Alien, and we will see. We'll finish the series. We'll talk talk about it here. But I don't know if Alien's meant for TV quite yet.
I would agree. Alien in comic books is kind of fun.
Right.
But I agree. I feel like Alien is a movie monster.
Alien in video games is actually really fun too.
Oh, Isolation is incredible.
Is really good.
Now,
And I was wanting that with this. And I loved Romulus. I thought Alien Romulus was
Well, yeah,
incredible.
Alien Romulus ripped.
This has a lot of good like set design and like you could tell they have a huge budget, but some of the CG is a little rough. Like when that cat shows up, I'm like,
It was rough.
Resident Evil video game. What
And
are you
like,
doing?
listen, I'm a huge Timothy Olyphant fan, so I
course.
will follow him anywhere. I have heard that they should have released the first 3 episodes of this because the first 3 episodes are a lot more cohesive and kind of set up the story better. But instead, they dropped the first 2, and so we're kind of left in the
The second
lurch.
episode ended with a needle drop, and I went, what?
Oh yeah. 2?
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's,
Okay.
They're making a lot of bold choices, and you could tell that this creator really is like making his stamp on it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the pieces are going to come together yet.
Also, this show has been in production for what feels like forever.
yeah.
So for
How long?
Yeah, 800 years.
800 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually put it in cryostasis
Yeah.
and then brought
Oh
it
yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's been a long time, but because knowing it's taken so long to make this, the final product that I feel like we're seeing, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like this is done.
Having seen Legion and knowing what Noah Hawley could do,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a perfect marriage for Alien. It just seems like he's placating to a studio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't. It's got to be a wait for it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can recommend this to people because
Yeah.
I didn't have a good time with it.
My official review of it is it's good, but is it?
Yeah. And
Someone
I think we're being...
compared it to Andor. Did you hear that?
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was like, how does this work for Andor? Well, okay, working class people that are slaves to corporations.
There's
Then
more
just watch
dialogue?
Romulus.
Yeah. I think we're being spoiled with Predator content right now, and Alien's kind of falling by the wayside. We'll see.
Did they take Predator out of the Alien canon with this?
Oh,
It feels like that's kind of what they did.
No, because Badlands will bring it back. Because you see the alien skull.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
That's true.
and Elle Fanning is a Wayland.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see where this goes. Is there like 8 episodes left? We'll see.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come out weekly, so it'll be a while before we start discussing this.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Have you seen the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth? What is your favorite Alien of the 80 movies that have come out for it? For me, it probably is going to be Aliens, and then I'll go Romulus. And I kind of liked Prometheus.
I think
Don't run right directly when
Yeah, don't run that way.
I did see a post that was like, it's kind of crazy that they made the best sci-fi movie ever and called it Alien, because that's like calling the best action movie ever Gun.
Yeah, or a movie about cars. Cars.
Yep. And then the sequel had an S.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, let's move on to Fixed. This is from the creator of Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack.
J.D. Tartakovsky.
Yeah,
We
a
practiced that
animation
before.
god.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he's back with this raunchy, very
Raunchy.
R-rated
Yeah.
comedy. This is about a dog that realizes that his parents are setting him up to go get fixed. We all have animals, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have experienced that moment where it's like, we better give him a good day because we're about to send him somewhere.
That's every day.
And then the reaction after of where the dog is just, what have you done to me?
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Did they do enough to make it feel like this was relatable and also keep it pretty funny?
The thing is, I really love J.D. Tartakovsky animation, and I am so happy to see it back on my screen, to see new animation of this style. The thing about it is, I didn't want it like this. This particular type of humor, you either have to go really, really raunchy or you don't do it at all.
It's South Park humor. The best way to describe it is South Park humor.
But South Park humor is smart.
So when I was 16, 17, there was a video store called Top Hat Video, and they had genre sections that you'd walk through, and there was a section called Brain Cavity. This had your Faces of Death, your trauma films, all that kind of stuff. Fixed would have belonged there.
Yeah.
It's the kind of movie where you're like, I'm 17 and this is really funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it feels naughty.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's
because it is.
animated and silly and all that kind of stuff, but the entire time you're like, oh no, it's too crass for me. Have I grown up too much?
There
Unfortunately.
was a little bit of that where when I first started watching, I was like, okay, obviously we're gonna get to the story eventually. And I'm like, no, we're still just doing humping and like,
Like,
you know,
who is this for?
yeah.
don't know.
I do think it is for that type of people that like, I love South Park, I love the raunchy comedy, and I like people taking risks with what they're doing. This definitely takes a lot of risks for what they're doing, but can you recommend it to any family? No. Can you recommend it to friends if they're cool like you're cool for it? But otherwise, it's tough.
I showed the trailer to a couple of friends, and the same reaction from all of them was, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
have fun."
It's going to be rare when a movie challenges War of the Worlds. Granted, War of the Worlds will always stand alone,
I mean,
but I was like,
would say I liked Fixed more than War of the Worlds.
yeah, barely though.
No, Fixed actually has a story.
Fixed right out
They
of
bring in some heart at the end too.
Yeah,
But
Fixed right out of the gate shows you what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it is so raunchy just immediately, and then it does kind of tone it down through the rest of the movie. It's still there, but it tones it down.
Fixed doesn't cut to how do you sign up for Netflix. Like, there's a huge difference between the two.
If only Amazon came in and
Yeah, right?
If anything, I do wish like maybe a couple jokes could have been retooled that could have landed a little better, but I still think there was a lot of humor in it. I just don't know if it was necessarily for me personally.
Yeah.
Right.
So with that being said, this is going to be an awkward transition, but we got interviews with the director to find out about what it's like to balance that comedy and heart
We
and
still
where the right
love you.
formula is. We love all of these guys. We have Beck Bennett from Saturday Night Live, Adam Devine. Let's take a look.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's great, man. This movie. So I watched it with my dog. That was going to be a wonderful evening, but I don't think my dog, which by the way, River, his name's Frankie as well.
Whoa.
So there you go. He was staring at me with disdain and anger, and I just wanted to like start by thanking you for giving us weeks of uncomfortableness to look forward to. My first question is about finding your voice when it comes to animation. Do you feel like it's more difficult to find a character when you're looking at the script itself, or do you need to wait until you see some concept art?
I started early, we recorded early on, and there was a little bit of concept art and a little bit of like an animatic. And this was also my first time. I was a virgin. So, I mean, I just dove in, and Gendy was so incredible at like making this as comfortable as possible and like creating a space so that I felt comfortable to just, you know, go for it in scenes that really called for, yeah, a lot of moaning and groaning.
Yeah, I feel like I was, you know, perfectly cast as a dog that wants to hump a bunch of things. So it came pretty easy for me in that booth. He was like, more humping, and I'm like, I'll give you all the humping you need.
Yeah, he left it all out.
Yeah,
there.
I left it all out there. Yeah,
It would you come in after
was
him his one of
hours.
Adam's recording it stank.
yeah, just
It would
out.
just stank.
Just stank all that sweat.
For me, seeing the concept art does a lot for me. I mean, I love that part of it, just seeing it and like having the character just kind of pop into my head and into my voice. And yeah, so that's huge for me in finding the voice.
You have a really stacked cast of really terrific voice actors too. Idris Elba, what did you pitch him to get him in on this?
When we first, like I had him on my list, right, with other type of, and we went out to him, and I had drawings of him that what we thought would look as Rocco, and we sent him the script, and we thought like, back then too, he was poised to be the next James Bond, right? I'm like, there's no way he's gonna do this, right? That's like his career is, it's gonna be explosive. And then we heard that he's totally into it and he was gonna do it.
Adam, I just was thinking when I came up with questions, and I was, you know what, Pitch Perfect. We should have done some dog singing in this. But since Idris Elba is a DJ, I'd love to know what would be a soundbite he would take from one of your lines that he would use as the next loop.
It would be, oh, Nana.
Nano, nano,
Oh, Nana.
nano, nano,
Oh, Nana.
nano, nano.
It would be, oh, Nana. 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 Yeah, of me humping my Nana's leg.
We're balancing a lot with this. There's some outrageous comedy going on, but there's also a little bit of heart. Do you have a formula on how you balance that when it comes to a full-length feature?
It's not. It's really difficult, and I think doing comedy is hard, and then now you're trying to bring in heart that's sincere. And I think to me, the stuff that's sincere isn't when like two people are just standing and talking about their feelings, right? If there's something else happening that you could deter from the feeling of just two actors acting, that it's something real. I think Heart with a Laugh feels more genuine than just trying to tug in your tears or something like that, you know? So that was it. And there's no secret. It's just feeling your way, stumbling through it until you get a balance that feels right, you know? And we're so close to it, sometimes it's hard because you don't see it.
And finally, we have Night Always Comes.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Kirby playing just this kind of aimless sister in this family, and she's kind of helping take care of her brother and her mom, trying to save the house. She has one day to do it, and so she resorts to crime. It's the kind of movie we've seen a few times this year where the economy is just so tough, and how do we make this work?
Yep.
And it gets ugly quick, and it's just this downward spiral of criminal behavior and going, just stop, just give up. Don't do this anymore.
Oh, no.
And it's
It ramps up like Uncut Gems, where like you
really
just keep
is.
making poorer and poorer choices, trying to get what you're looking for, which is just never going to happen.
And Vanessa Kirby is so good that you root for her, even though she's doing terrible things. Even though she's manipulating other people, you want her to win. But then it just feels exhausting by the end.
It goes into that gear, and it doesn't really shift out of it for quite a while. For like the entire second act leading up to the third, it's kind of the same thing of like, we're just trying to get the safe open. Really want to get the safe open.
Yeah.
Why isn't the safe open? And a lot of like drama and screaming in between. And I do think the performances are great.
Very.
I just don't think the story ended up giving us something that felt satisfying in the end. It was a lot more, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
What do you think?
And it ends like on a kind of a touching note, kind of like maybe this wasn't as important as we thought, but then it kind of makes you feel like, oh, she did a lot of that for nothing.
I do love the actor from Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yes.
He's in this, and he does a great job in it. Who is the mom?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yes, Jennifer Jason Leigh is in this too.
And you kind of hate her.
Yeah.
Why, I
she's
mean?
Yeah.
bad mom. She played that role really well.
Yeah, she did.
I do think this is still a see it though for people, especially if you want to just watch something, have it on as you're like taking care of stuff over the weekend. It's a pretty easy weekend watch.
Yeah, it's a drama thriller, and so maybe a background show, but it's worth watching one time, and that's it.
Yep. Well, and not only that, there's a few things that are out on VOD. Superman is officially out, so you can go and watch Superman right now. But with that being said, that about does it for See It or Skip It this week. Thank you, both of you, for coming on. Tell the folks where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me at ShowtimeShowdown.com for my reviews and the Bacon Cell podcast.
And you can find me every week on the Geek Show podcast and on Instagram and Twitter at YouGrossRebecca.
And you can find me also on You Gross Rebecca. Make sure that you check out the See It or Skip It show on our News for Utah Plus app. You can go straight down into the Good Things Utah row. We're just right there. Plus, check out the extras that we have going on the YouTube channel. So many fun things. Thank you again so much as always for watching. Here's a look at what we're going to be talking about next week.
Action. Submission. There is no higher service. See it or skip it. 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 See it or skip it.